All right, everyone. Welcome to the Sugar Free League. We've got another playoff match for you guys. This time it's LNZRO versus Don Inferno. Should be a good one. And like yesterday, it looks like we are going to be getting an Aphelios first pick, which is interesting. We keep our tabs on this, see what's going on with this, because we saw it mid yesterday, but of course it can be played bot lane, saw it there as well. So kind of a flex pick right now. Up against that is the Akali and Lucian, and now picked up is going to be the Cho'Gath and Braum. So LNZRO locking in potentially their bot lane and a top laner. Interesting to pick the Cho'Gath early on. We'll see if that's a proxy. Sometimes that is. Nope, not a proxy. It's going to be Cho'Gath early on. Very uncommon pick at the moment. And I mean, there's a lot of good stuff up still. I'm surprised they took that early on, but Blinding and Olaf early on in the draft. And now Dawn with their last pick, going to be the Kale. So it looks like they got two soul laners now and an 80 carry. And I think they're saying that pick is Thresh. Kale is Thresh. Okay, so the Lucian Thresh will be the bot lane. Kale is a proxy, unfortunately. Sometimes they misclick, and we get the wrong champion selected in. But a Lee Sin ban coming in for Dawn here. So trying to cut down on that jungle pool, because they know that pretty much that's the only champion for sure that has, or only position that has for sure not been picked up yet. Aphelios maybe going mid bot. Cho'Gath very unlikely to be in the jungle. And of course Braum always going to be in the sport. See here. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a second. Looks like we might have another caster joining us, so hang tight. We'll be back in a sec. All right, welcome back, everyone. We got an extra special caster coming in now. We got Smacks joining us. Last minute addition here, but we're gonna get a second caster this time around because it's gonna be a long one. So we need a few extra people here to keep the conversation going. But looks like LNZRO are gonna be locking in a Gragas and a Kennen there on the second phase, and now Jarvan for Dawn, and one more pick to come. So looks like this will be an Aphelios bottom, I assume. With a Kennen mid lane, Gragas jungle. I mean, it could be Gragas AP in the mid lane. Who knows?
It could be. You know, Cho'Gath is notorious to be somewhat of a jungler, but I mean, they've got a few flexes here. Of course, Cho'Gath could also be the atomic bomb mid laner. You never really know. But actually, you know what? I think it is that. And they've got Jarvan support. Is that what this is for Dawn? Or is the Jace not a real pick because it was last minute?
It looks like it's gonna be. I guess that would be Jarvan. No, Thresh. Kale is Thresh. That's why. Lucian,
Okay.
Thresh, and Jarvan jungle, and Jason in a soul lane there.
All right, that makes more sense because I mean, honestly, if I had to choose one of those 5 champions that isn't super good in the meta, it would be Kale. So Thresh into the Braum Aphelios makes a lot of sense. Aphelios is one of those champions that deals just a ludicrous amount of damage if you let him. but he does not have that much mobility. Of course, he can kite you a little bit depending on what gun he's got, but the damage is definitely his strong suit. So if you do land a nice hook on to him, feels pretty good there. One of those really bad matchups for him I've found in my experience is the Thresh, but of course it's really just any hook champion like the Thresh, the Nautilus, the Blitzcrank, all that feels pretty bad for him.
Yeah, we're going to take a short break. Get everyone in the lobby. We'll be back in 2 seconds, and then we'll get underway with the in-client draft and then through into the game in a second, so stick around. All right, welcome back, everyone. Quick client bug. Unfortunately, one of the players had a DC come back to fix the bug, but we're all ready to go now. LNZRO versus Don Inferno. First game of the night here. And it looks like it'll actually be Ken and top, so it looks more like an AP Cho'Gath mid going to come in soon. So kind of an interesting draft to start things off. We've seen some wacky things, but I felt he was bot lane as well this time around. We saw it mid lane last night, but you know, he's good enough to play both roles and one-shot people. He's a pretty good champion.
Yeah, we've got a lot of magic damage here from LNZRO, especially if it is that AP Cho'Gath build that we've been seeing around a bit. Usually, you go the Glacial, Water Hose, Twin Shadows build, but you can also take Glacial and go for Righteous Glory. It's a bit of a flexible item path there for Cho'Gath with that rune choice. One of the few champions that can actually use basically all of them. Obviously, he doesn't want to go for the Blade of the Ruin King, which does still count. Not a lot of people think that. when they think of Glacial, but you can still do it off of Blithering King, but of course Cho'Gath doesn't really care about that.
Well, on hit Shogath, you get a Rage Blade, Ginsu, then you get the side lane split push going, maybe even throwing a Nashers in there. I don't think it's such a bad build, but
Yeah, maybe not.
maybe some
I
switch
probably
putting
would have
it.
gone for the Gunblade instead.
Well,
But you can still do it with that too.
yeah, Gunblade's not bad there, but Akali will certainly be picking up a Gunblade. Jace as well for Dawn,
Yeah.
so maybe gonna look for some side lane pressure, but I'll potential for some crazy AoE team fights on the other side for Lane Zero if they can land all those abilities, but a bit squishy. They don't really have a tank. Gragas usually not building that, so both teams going with a slightly more frail composition here, especially with Jarvan. It seems like everyone seems to be building more AD at least recently, so a lot of damage here, but not a lot of people to soak up that damage. So fights could be quite quick as we get an Aphelios Braum versus Lucian Thresh in the bot lane. That should be interesting to keep our eyes on as well. And we've seen a few 2v2 kills in the bot lane. Last series was we got quite a few.
Yeah, Klein and Tuller swapped their champions there, and I'm not sure if that's going to stick. Of course, they do have a few seconds left to manage that if they want to. I personally don't really know which matchup they'd prefer, but it looks like the Akali and the Jace has swapped a little bit as well. I don't know. I mean, they definitely have the flex capabilities here, but typically if the Cho'Gath does go top lane, you get more of a tank-focused build. So maybe we do get a tank on on one of these guys after all. That isn't a support, because supports they're tanky, but they're not like tanky like the Scion was yesterday.
Yep. So looks like that will be sticking around up there. The Cho'Gath in the top lane, Kennen in the mid lane against the Akali. So Cho'Gath will probably have a tough time in lane unless he gets a lot of jungle help. And even then it can be difficult if the Jace plays it very, very well. So that's going to be a tough matchup, but it does seem like they're playing more for the team fight or skirmish-oriented styles. They don't want to take 1v1s more in the big AoE sort of department with the Gragas cask into that lightning that Kenny could throw out. That seems definitely very tough to deal with here, but a lot of mobility on the other side for Dawn and potential to get some advantages to the sideline. We'll see what they can do there, but always exciting to see some of the new champions. Aphelios, we saw him yesterday twice, and he was pretty powerful. We'll see if he gets banned the rest of the series, or if he continues to be let through because he is such a powerful pick. But we'll be back in a couple seconds, right after you give us your picks for this first game. Who do you think is going to win?
That's a tough one. Speaking of Aphelios, usually teams you don't really want to have triple AP because you lack a lot of physical damage, but Aphelios definitely stems that gap a bit. I think that Aphelios might be strong enough to where if Lane Zero can take this to a late game scenario, they just win team fights outright. And they certainly have the capability to make it that far. Of course, they do outrange in the bot lane, Aphelios versus Lucian. It's really going to be on a King's Land to make the picks happen for the rest of this team because, as you were talking about, there's a very frail team that Dawn Inferno have drafted. It's really, really on a King's Land to pop off. And if he does, I take Dawn Inferno. But if he doesn't, I'm going to go with Lane Zero, and I'm going to keep it up to a little bit of a mystery there. see how things play out here.
All right, well, hedge your bets. That's definitely the best way to go about it here. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in another one in just a moment. Lane Zero versus Dawn Inferno in just a couple minutes. All right, we got a little bit of a feisty level 1. A couple of spells exchanged, but this invade looks to be sniffed out here. Just maybe some wards going to be put down there, one on the Raptors. And it looks like we're off to a bloodless start here. And game 1 in the series. Obviously don't want to give up a quick kill. And
Yeah.
it looks like there should be knowledge here for both sides. They both got Raptor wards down, but we'll see where the jungles go from here.
Yeah, no recalls quite yet for the sweepers. Makes me think that they're maybe not even going to go for it, but not too bad. You do get to keep that yellow trinket to drop some more wards. Definitely going to be pretty valuable against the Jarvan and the Gragas, respectively, because they gank really early, especially if the Gragas goes for this newfound top camp route that you can go for. Thanks to the new preseason, you can take blue buff and Gromp and Wolves, and it gets you to level 3. So you can take those 3 camps, recall, grab your boots, go down bot lane, and Predator runs some people down. Works out pretty nicely.
Looks like blue buff start for both junglers here, and as you said, maybe the Gragas will end up bot lane with that Predator here, but yeah, top lane. Starting it off a bit unfortunate for Klein, as Red Flame Evolved going to take a bit of a trade there in the brush, camping it out as it comes to lane. Obviously going to know where the Gragas is because of that leash timing, but not the worst trade in the world. Klein did get quite a few autos off.
Yeah, honestly, Red Flame ended up kind of worse for wear there. Of course, Klein did have to use one of his corrupting pots, but he's going to use those anyway, so pretty happy there. And of course, Klein, with the Cho'Gath passive, does like those trades a little bit more. He can sustain it up quite nicely. And Mousesticks, he did take that Gromp. Let's see if he goes for the recall after the Wolves. Is Klein finding some more autos?
Yeah, found the level 2 advantage, took a nice trade there, but gets out, still at slightly higher health. Not massive, but hey, it's a Cho'Gath. It's a moral victory at this stage of the game. At least keeps your mental in it, right? Don't want to get tilted game 1 here.
Yeah.
Jarvan coming up top, though. That could certainly tilt someone.
Yeah. And as could the Thresh Hook into the minion. Did grab a relic stack with it, but Klein might be under fire
nice
here.
knock up. Great rupture by Klein there to stop jungle from getting onto him. And now Red Flame Evolved, a lot of damage, and maybe a TP going to come through for Klein. Well, he's got one more, charge of that Corrupting Potion, but a nice gank came through. Good, nice timing, but sniffed out by Klein in a great reaction.
Yeah, honestly, Jungle's Dead didn't even really do that much in the trade. It was really just Klein finally did not have the confidence to trade back against Red Flame, so just getting so much damage down with the ranged cannon hits from Jace. And Klein does retain his flash, not recalling quite yet. Another hook into the minion, unfortunately, for King's Land.
It seems like all the Threshes we've seen last night, a lot of minions, now a King's Land. It's keeping that, percentage up, right? He's hooding every hook, it's just not on the right target. A lot of damage put down there as well by the Aphelios. Very, very close to dying. Tetsuya still has heal, but out of potions.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Aphelios on a different account because I am not quite confident in my abilities to take it to ranked, but on a different account, it's been going very, very well. He's quickly become my highest mastery champion on that one, and he's very fun. He's very frustrating for the other team to deal with. Every single time, there's like, man, Aphelios is so broken.
Jace going in, aggressive trade, turret shot, but neither side going to go down a flash away from Klein.
Yeah, and Red Flame doing a really, really nice job, really taking advantage of that pressure gank from Jungle is Dead earlier. It looks like Jungle is Dead was thinking about making a reappearance up there, but Klein uses the flash even without the Jarvan's help, so pretty nice stuff. Looks like he might even walk back to lane, which should even lose him some more CS as Red Flame Evolved already teleporting back in there with the Doran's Blade.
Got a TP advantage now for the Cho'Gath. Could potentially matter for the Dragon that's going to come up in a few moments. You have the Cloud Drake coming up in just a couple seconds here, so Klein TP advantage that's going to obviously be in the back of the minds of both teams in case there is a fight bot side.
Yeah, certainly Red Flame Evolved getting that nice trade. Using the teleport in just to assert some more lane dominance there. He really only has one way to stop the teleport, and if he's pushing Klein under the tower, maybe you don't really want to go for that, because it is the Gulf Swing with the melee, so you have to really go past the point of no return at that point, but he still has the flash, so maybe he can cancel the teleport if need be, but fine with that, maybe looking for some more stuff, but there's
going
the
in
Gulf
again
Swing
with the insect of the hammer, and now, the shock blast misses. Unfortunate there, but a good sidestep by Klein. Bad trade, but hey, he's doing his best to survive on this Cho'Gath. Jungle is dead on the bottom side of the map. Fails here a little bit far up, but King's Head flashes in for the play onto Hardstuck. Guardian proccing for some movement speed. TP coming in now. That's the Cho'Gath, as well as the mid laner. Double TP there. Flash in. Huge lightning, and that's a 3-man stun. Jungle is dead, flashing away, but he will fall as well. That's 3 kills. A massive play there from double TP from the 2 soul laners after a gank bot side, and they respond. All 5 bot lane.
Yeah, Hardstuck FF15 just playing the bait perfectly right there. He's just a health bar walking away. Just, come on, guys, you can get me. They get the flash flay, and Jungle is dead whiffs his flag and drag because they were not quite on the same page with their execution on the CC layering. And Hardstuck FF15, so Hardstuck FF15, excuse me, walks away with no kill participation. But looks like he's gonna get a dragon for himself as an excellent play from LNZRO starts this game off very, very smoothly for them.
Cloud Drake over, and there'll be a mountain next. Klein gonna get back to lane here, 1-0-2 now, down a bit of CS. Only 9 though, considering he made a TP play bot lane and obviously got ganked. Doing quite well for himself right now. And now the Cannon, after making his TP play, 1-0-2 as well. And actually only down about 4 CS. So while the TP play was made and you would expect a CS gap to grow, not a massive one yet, so that's good news for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. They are feeling quite nice about this now with Klein. He's got the feast up, he can chow down on some minions, just waiting to become this big and tanky Cho'Gath as we are getting into a quick little pause. But speaking of the Cho'Gath, it looks like he is going for that Righteous Glory. Even without the Glacial Augment, it's a very powerful item. You don't really need that extended AoE slow. You already get the AoE slow anyway, and the speed up is really why you build that item in the first place.
Quick pause has to happen. It's tradition around here, and now we have the opportunity to talk about this Jarvan. We talked about, you know, AD builds maybe will be off tank, but it looks like it will be the AD build from Jungle is Dead, and that means that lineup, right, if you look at it, very, very frail. Thresh, one of the most frail, you know, tank supports. They feel like as soon as they get jumped on, it's pretty much over if they all get caught. You saw what happened bot lane there with the Kennen coming in. If another play happens like that, I'm very concerned for them. So what do they do to avoid that? How do they play around that? Do they just never group? What's the idea to try and avoid another fight like that? Because that was so disastrous.
Well, like you were talking about, it may already be too late as Jungle is Dead has already purchased a longsword, but one of the ways you can stop that is by going Cinder Hulk on your Jarvan. But he's not doing it. So at that point, oh, we're getting a little bit of a DC. I think they're going to be back in just a second, though.
Yeah, he reconnected, so we may be readying up a couple of question marks in the chat, so just a couple more seconds here. But as you said, you know, very, very squishy Jarvan. Now that's a big concern.
Right.
Do you play, you know, across the map? Do you try and get this Jace going in a side lane, or are we moving more towards, hey, we're still gonna group. We're just gonna play like poke centered, or maybe you know, try and siege or do a 4-1. Like, what's the idea here in terms of a setup for them, or do you just try and fight and outplay?
You definitely have to take it to the biggest extreme possible. You have to go for the 1-3-1, try to knock down those side lanes and get pressure across the map, because you are not winning a team fight against a team that you were already down over 1,000 gold against. They've got a Aphelios, they've got Kennen, they've got the range advantage, and they're the only team with a true blue tank because your Jarvan decided to go for Warrior. So you're just not going to win any team fights 5v5. You have to split up the map if you are Dawn, and I expect them to assess this and take it as it is. But 3-0 disadvantage so far, looking like they might have a little bit of a tough streak going ahead.
So how does one get back into this game then? Do you think you make a play with a Rift Herald here, or do you try and commit for the next dragon? What's the idea? How do you drop into that 1-3-1? You commit for a turret. What's the best play here, or do you just try and gank this Jace again? You know, it worked slightly for them, but they weren't able to quite get the kill.
Yeah, as good as Drakes are in the early game, you really do want to have Rift Herald in a comp like this. You need to be able to split up that map, and Rift Herald begins that trend very, very quickly. You can even wait and use the Rift Herald until after the plates are down, but obviously at that point you don't get the second Rift Herald, so you usually do want to get it pretty much on spawn. So I would expect them to really want to tackle that objective. So they already are down a Drake, if I remember correctly. It was a Cloud Drake going over to LNZRO. So as much as you do want to deny the Drakes, you can't really have that at the forefront of your mind, because that's just playing reactively. You need to start something proactive in a comp like this that's very, very squishy. You need to be proactive on the map, and yeah, the Rift Herald's definitely where they need to pick things up.
Alright, well that's spawned on the map now, so potentially Jarving to make his way up there. He's taking red right now, so maybe that's the next stop. We'll see. No, going to Krugs right now. Just going to farm it out. A couple red wards on the bot side of the river, so they do have vision. But another couple minutes before that dragon spawns here, so neither side has really set up too much vision in either river. But 845 in, 3-0 in kills, and over 1,000 gold up right now. And you know, it seemed like the laning phase was going to be really where the struggle was for LNZRO, but now after that TP play, they're actually in a really nice spot. So definitely feels like they are in control of this one here. But you know, I don't know how you really respond to the Jace in the mid game here. So maybe Red Flame Evolve can do something big for his team. As Klein going to take a trade up against him now, misses the rupture. As Red Flame Evolve taking the trade in melee range, maybe not the best idea there. As they come out even once again.
Yeah, potentially LNZRO could be in a little bit of a tricky spot if the
Red
side
Flame
lanes
Evolve's
do come
going in
out.
again. The silence from Klein, flash away from Red Flame Evolve. Shock Blast needs to come there. Auto flash in the feast. Klein gets the solo kill on the top side.
That was really, really close for Red Flame, but a trade of flashes and the feast coming in for Klein, super clutch. That's a solo kill for a Cho'Gath, and that might just spell disaster going into the mid game for Jace. Like you were talking about, he really does like being in the mid game in these situations where he can just lane against someone and kind of just dominate. But if you're losing trades like that, you're going in for the all-in and taking an L against the Cho'Gath. Bad news as the Gragas might be diving.
Dive. Rom ult misses a good cast though. Finds the Lucian. Hook from a Kingsland. Tetsuya will go down underneath the turret of Kingsland. Loses the aftershock here. Rago's going to reset back on the minions. The Kingsland going to take a couple autos about Stixie with the kill. And another successful play bottom lane. Although, hold on, hard stuck. He's stuck in a hard place to get away from. Now he's nowhere to go. He's in the brush, but Compera will just silence him there with a perfect execution. And, well, they kind of left the AD carry behind. I'm not sure that was the plan.
Yeah, Hardstuck not quite on the same page with the exit strategy as the rest of LNZRO. So they do take a return kill right there, but another trade up on the top side. Cataclysm, maybe?
Jungle is dead. Gonna go ahead and drop that Cataclysm. Red Flame Evolved here is trapped in as well. Flash out from Jungle is dead. On the bottom side, they get a kill as well. Mid laner going down. Compera falling. Klein giving chase here on Red Flame Evolved and Jungle is dead. They're both very, very low. He's continuing to go in. Puts a ward in the brush. Rupture gonna land on Red Flame Evolved. One more auto will do it. Jungle is dead. Might just get away here. He's got no flash left. Rupture gonna land, and now underneath the turret, Klein gonna get it there with a scream. Double kill for the Cho'Gath on the top side. 4 kills now for him, and now 3 on Malstixie. You got that kill underneath the bot lane turret.
Oh man, if the solo kill onto Red Flame Evolved wasn't enough, this turnaround in the 1v2 for Klein is icing on the cake right there. 4-0-2 on the Cho'Gath. I was going to contest someone in chat who said that Dawn might as well FF, but now, after seeing what Klein is doing in the top lane, I kind of agree. You kind of just need to go for your game 2 strategy at this point, because you already drafted yourself into a really, really high skill comp here, and it's very high variance that comes with that. Not that Dawn are like unskilled.
Red Flame Evolved is taking another trade against Klein. He'll knock him back, needs another couple autos, trying to get back into the range for him, but doesn't have the cooldown yet. Running away, will get the cooldown, and now he's going to get the kill. Shut down, 700 gold over to the Jace here. Just a couple of Doran's Blades and a Phage, but he's able to win that one as the Cho'Gath hadn't bought quite yet. Dragon Me taking the bot side will be secured there by Malstixie. Jungle is dead is here, but he can't help a Kingsland trying to flash away. Flight away, but he'll still go down here. The culling comes out from Tetsuya. He gets slowed up there by the Braum, and now chasing his Aphelios. They find the stun. One more. Yep, will do it. Double kill now for the Aphelios. Flag and drag in. Jungle's dead, out of mana. Kiting away. Fail's getting a bit low, but nothing left for a fail. For Jungle is dead, and he will fall, making his name very, very true. And now 0-3 is both the bot lane and the jungle. And now on the top side,
my goodness.
Well, Red Flame Evolved, I don't think he's going to live much longer. Klein with a TP, flank from behind, and the kill goes over. Another feast for the Cho'Gath.
Whew. Man, Aphelios, what a champion. I actually did not know that when you had the Infernum ult, it counts as an auto attack, so it does on hits. I should have known this because it works with crits and things like that, but it actually gave the last proc to the Braum passive, so he got the stun under the turret with the Aphelios ultimate. That's pretty crazy. On top of just the fact that he just got a triple kill, and he's just honestly set to carry this game, as is everyone else on LNZRO, honestly. Even the Braum doing very, very wonderful job in this game. this is looking pretty doomed for Dawn.
4-level deficit at 13.5 minutes between Klein, the top laner, and the jungler. Jungle is dead. And some Aphelios Braum synergy means that we're probably going to get a lot of boring lanes coming up in the next season. I'm not looking forward to that at all. But now Klein to fight Roughly Involved once again in the top side over a ward, but Roughly Involved, I think, has sort of gotten the memo. It's not his time to try and fight this Cho'Gath. Miles Dixie actually underneath the turret in the top side of the map. He's now caught between Roughly Involved. Jungle is dead, but Klein is here. Cask gonna miss, but he does get the Zonias off so he can stay alive, and he's able to get out thanks to his top laner coming in to save him.
Yeah, the stopwatch cask was just a precaution there to make sure he didn't give over a 300 gold shutdown. Gotta respect it there, but Klein was in position. Maybe if that cask was used a little bit more aggressively to knock them toward the Cho'Gath who's coming over, could have been maybe a kill, but...
Yeah, Rift Herald summoned in the top side. Red Flame Evolve now running away from Klein. He's down a level. He's slowed up by Righteous Glory here. Feast not off cooldown. Hardstuck taking a little bit of damage underneath the turret in the bot side. Klein is turning his dominance in this lane. Hardstuck has not finished his first item here. He's definitely wanting to go back. He's sitting on a bit of gold there, about 2,000. So that's why he's losing those fights.
And here comes that Rift Herald that I was talking about. How Dawn really wanted to get that objective. Looks like it is just going to be some more food for the Cho'Gath though. Not really what you wanted when you picked that objective up. There's the 25 gold. You know, something I don't know is if the Rift Herald summoned and Cho'Gath feasts it, if it gives him an extra epic monster stack.
I believe it would.
You think so?
I think so, because I think it's tagged into the game files as an epic monster, but perhaps when it's summoned it changes the attributes. I'm not sure, but we'd have to test that for sure. Well, not looking great, I think we can all agree, for Dawn Inferno, but the good news is that, you know, that Akali in the mid lane actually is doing quite well. She's got 1 kill, she's got 130 CS at 15 minutes, not bad. So the Akali is actually pretty strong, and if she can eliminate the Aphelios early, maybe they can win a fight if a poor engage comes through. Obviously that, there's a lot of ifs, but perhaps the Akali can do something for her team here.
Yeah, the Akali is definitely the saving grace for Dawn. Unfortunately, that kind of champion is really not what you want your saving grace to be against a composition like this, where all of the damage is AoE. So even if you are in the Shroud, you're really not safe against something like a Kennen ulti, a Cho'Gath Rupture, even the Braum Glacial Fissure is going to get you. So pretty rough game to be Akali, even if you are this far ahead. It's really just yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about.
In the mid lane, well, okay. Tooler found a solo kill there on to Compera, which, yeah, that's not a good sign. I just said, all right, he's the most fed one, and he's dead. So that's,
yeah.
Well, hey, he's the least deaths on the team. He's only got 2. Everyone else has 3, so at least they're all even in how bad this game has gone. Here's a Kingsland, makes his way to mid lane, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold this turret for long. Dragon spawning soon, and Inferno about 30 seconds away. And Klein close to getting this turret on the top side, but it's going to take another wave or 2.
Yeah, at least Dawn Inferno is all. Yeah, excuse me. Dawn is all. They've all taken a pact together. Oh, nice hook right there.
Oh, nice hook. Yeah, on to fail. He's going to hop away to his teammates. Already they've found Jungle is dead, and the rest of the team will back away. Dawn Inferno had a moment in the sun, and then wait, hold on, we're all dead now. We better run away.
And this is bringing me back to the series last night where the Jarvan just refused to go Cinderhulk. Cinderhulk Jarvan is good, guys. I don't know if you know this out there in the chat, but PSA, if you are playing Jarvan, you should go Cinderhulk, especially if you're 0-4-0.
Oh, Compera has found fails here. Oh, good heal by Hardstuck to maybe save his support. Compera out the Shroud, trying to go back in. A lot of damage from the cask from Mouse Dixie, but everyone is quite low here except for Hardstuck. Misses the ultimate though. They have Aphelios. That's a big ability for him, but still, I think Compera has to back off. Down a flash now, and he will get out. Had to get the, got the heal off, but certainly you would have hoped for a kill there. Klein now trying to run down Roughly Involved. The Righteous Glory here. He's already hit the Rupture. The silence comes through. The autos, the Vorpal spikes raining down upon him. Another Rupture going to land. Klein continuing to chase. He's got Feast available, and Roughly Involved is getting scarily low. Flash in, another couple autos, and there, another meal for the Cho'Gath. A little bit of a snack for him. He's been feeding quite frequently here as Tooler going in, going to find a stun with the ultimate once again, and that Lightning Storm will spell the death of the Ninja. As well, the blue buff taken by the jungler. I guess that's a win.
Yeah, Slicing Maelstrom is the exact ability that you do not want to play against if you're Akali. And unfortunately, that's the exact ability that keeps killing him over and over. Now tied up with his bot lane for the second least deaths on his team. So technically, he still does have the least deaths on the team.
That's the way to look at the positives. I like that. A Kingsland now has found a hook on Decline. I don't know why he's doing that. Klein could probably just eat him. Well, he doesn't have feast. Sorry, you can't eat him, but he could probably beat him down with his claws.
I like Klein's thinking there, rupturing the bush. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, it was a smart move by Klein, making sure no one else was in there, but right now at Kingsland is definitely regretting what he just did a moment ago. Down he goes. Cataclysm actually finds...
That's an FF.
Okay, so game's over now. Maybe Mouse Dixie was going to die. I'm not sure, but we're on to game 2. So no more 40-minute games, guys. It's going to be 18 minutes from here on out. Nothing else. I quite like this. I prefer this a lot more than the 40-minute games where we slowly bleed out one team or the other. But a convincing win from LNZRO to start off the series, up 1-0.
Wow. Yeah. That's all I got, really. I mean, there's really no coming back there from Don. Like I was talking about, they picked a very high variance team composition that you really do need to play at a level where you're not making these big mistakes where you get ganked and die 3 times and like on the first play of the enemy team, and then your top laner Jace is getting solo killed by the Cho'Gath. Like at that point, you can't really blame him for FFing, but kind of spells a little bit of a disaster moving forward because they still at least have 2 more games to play, Kios.
Well, at this rate, I'm going to get to watch the football game, so I'm not too upset by it. But Dawn Inferno, I know they've got more in them, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be back for game 2, and I know they'll have a much better strategy. And definitely after that game, I hope they will, because this is not the Dawn Inferno we've seen throughout the season. I know they got more in them, and I'm sure they're going to put up a fight for LNZRO. There's not going to be a short series here. They're at least going to win one game. That's what I'd say, but who knows? I mean, LNZRO came out firing. Welcome back, everyone. Game number 2, Lane Zero, Dawn Inferno. Lane Zero up 1-0. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a short game 1 for those of you that are fans of those 40-minute games. But we'll see what the decision is game 2 for Dawn Inferno, because they went for a very aggressive composition. They got a Jace, a Kali, and tried to make a very aggressive play, and then it just fell apart immediately. So we'll see if they do something similar to that, or if they just do something completely different, because that fell apart so fast. They footed at 18 minutes. That was a real mess. They just need to reset now and try and move. So what's the first step they need to make? Do you just completely throw out game 1 out the window, or do you try and just salvage something, some sort of strategy from that?
Well, it looks like they already decided what their first step was, and it was subbing out their top laner and their AD. So, let's see if that changes things up before we really get into things. I assume it's already going to change up some champion choices here. As Aphelios banned away on red side, definitely a first pickable champion, so you gotta respect that. But yeah, ooh, the Olaf's gonna be going to Tetsuya, you gotta think.
Yep, Olaf in the jungle was a first pick in our series game. I believe game 2 first pick in our series last night. So some people prioritizing that, especially in certain games here. Now with the Aphelios banned, definitely makes sense to first pick that one. Dawn Inferno to have that in their jungle. And now on the other side, we'll see what the response is here. I believe Jarvan was played into it in the game that we saw, but no Trundle going to be picked here. So I guess that would be in the jungle up against the Olaf, maybe steal some of his resistances and try and duel him that way. And now one more pick going to come in here for Lane Zero.
Yeah, Trundle is kind of the classic counter to Olaf in a sense, because he has one of the very few abilities in the game that actually can stop the Olaf in the pillar. Because, you can't walk through the pillar even if you are in your Ragnarok, so that's pretty useful for the Trundle to be able to do against the Olaf. And he's also one of the few champions that can really keep up in terms of farm with the Olaf, so definitely going to be the jungle champion for Malstixi here. Misfortune's a very interesting one to me, though. And it definitely seems like it's going to be similar to Aphelios, I guess you could say, in that you have a lot of AoE teamfight damage, and the lane's not half bad either. But against the Caitlyn and the Braum now as well, might be a little bit tough.
Yep, and that Braum shield very good up against the Misfortune, blocking the ultimate or just blocking that Q, the double up, so that she doesn't get that damage in lane or in that 2v2 potentially. We'll see how that plays out. But some people are a very big fan of the Misfortune, so maybe we'll get to see why some people highly value it here. And Hardstack believes that it is a good champion, so he'll grab that one. It looks like Karma. That's a very interesting pickup with the Misfortune here, but it does give you that mage in the bot lane to try and mess up that Braum early on, because he is a little bit susceptible to that, although the Caitlyn in her range may have something to say about the Karma harassing her support too much.
Yeah, perhaps even going to one of the solo lanes here for Lane Zero. Not super likely in today's current meta, but it's a possibility. And moving forward, I definitely agree that the Karma Misfortune lane is a little bit strange, because typically when you go for that kind of enchanter support, you want to have a champion that can really utilize the Ardent Sensor most of all. But the Athenes on their Karma is definitely not a half-bad rush item either. Granted, Dawn Inferno have yet to choose a magic damage oriented champion, so maybe you don't even want to go for that item if he doesn't give you the magic resistance in a very effective way. But the Ornn and the Cassiopeia landing down on the ban table for the phase 2.
The Rise still was banned away in the first phase, and now the Cassiopeia banned away in the second here. So some of those mages that have been very popular recently going to be taken away. And Vladimir as well going to be banned away here. So now we have bot lanes and junglers on both sides, so just soul laners left to pick up here. And last time Dawn Inferno went for an aggressive top laner in the Jace, but now they have that sub top laner, so we'll see what Dardo wants to do here. Perhaps could try and take away that Cho'Gath that was so devastating, but we'll see if Klein wants to pick that one up once again here. He's got the ability to if he would like.
Yeah, and they actually are doing a double check to make sure that the Trundle is not I mean, I guess still not guaranteed to go in the jungle, but they ban away the Elise just in case they want to flex the Trundle. But it is going to be the Cho'Gath going up for Klein again. Very, very devastating on that champion in the previous game, getting 3 solo kills onto the Jace and 1 on the Jarvan at the same time as well. Of course, he did get solo killed by the Jace one of those times. It was a very volatile top lane matchup, but definitely not too surprised to see him go back to that pick.
I mean, and Chase is, one of the picks that you generally say is like good into Cho'Gath, you'd think, right? Like, hey, it's a range champion that can harass you quite a bit and potentially all in solo you. So what do you do against it? Well, Dardo thinks the Urgot's the option here. Urgot's certainly another range champion that can harass, but is a bit tankier, so we can deal with that Cho'Gath all in maybe. So that's Dardo's decision up against the Cho'Gath that, Klein just destroyed top lane with last game. So we'll see if that new sub is able to stand up to Klein's Cho'Gath here. And now Kassadin, that's an interesting pickup here, especially a blind Kassadin in the mid lane. A lot of AD champions available now to go into him. Capera may have his hands full, but an aggressive pick. If it pays off, though, a Kassadin can certainly take over a game.
Yeah, especially against these immobile champions that LNZRO have drafted so far. No dashes, no jumps, no nothing here. Potentially some speed ups, and there it is. Yeah, that's that AD champion going up against Kassadin. Tristana Kassadin is a very brutal matchup, especially before Kassadin does get access to the Rift Walk. This is looking like the mid lane destruction might occur for Tuller this time. Whereas last game, Campara was doing quite nicely on the Akali, at least in the laning phase against Tuller's Kennen. I think this matchup might be a little bit more rough to deal with unless Tetsuya gets in there with the Olaf. But even then, Rocket Jump is just so good.
A little bit concerned for him in the mid lane. Had a rough time in the other game up against the Kennen, and now Camperas picked another assassin, but this time a bit more of a scaling one, even more so than the Akali, and that may become an even worse lane for him. Tuller seems to be always getting the pick he likes into Campera, and that's not a great sign for him, but we'll see if he can, just survive, get to the later stages of the game, get that Rift Walk going, and maybe make something happen here. But we do have a few different matchups here. We got Olaf in the jungle, so maybe that can be something big in the early game for Don. We'll see, unless he can shut him down. But I think a little bit more of a stable draft for Don. If something goes wrong in the early game, it doesn't necessarily mean game over like the other draft did, where, hey, if we don't get the initiative, if we aren't able to put pressure on the map, then our team comp really doesn't do much here. Don can, stall out a little bit, play from behind a little bit more effectively. It doesn't mean, hey, we lose 1 or 2 kills, the game's not over. So I think that may be a better strategy to go up here for game 2, but obviously the subs help me out. We'll see if they can right the ship, but obviously a rough game 1 from Don Inferno, but LNZRO looking super strong. So how do you combat them now? So looking at these drafts, you have some strong points, but you also have some weak lanes for Don. What's the best thing that they can do in the early game? Maybe Tetsuya can help out a lane. What can they do to make that game number 2 go a bit better than game number 1?
For Dawn, it's really going to have to be about Tetsuya popping off on this Olaf here. They really do need that early game to come online. They definitely drafted for early game last game, and that just really did not come together for them. And the jungler just really did not show his face too much. If I remember correctly, Tetsuya was the AD last game.
He was
Is that right?
Was he really? I don't.
Because Jungle is Dead was.
Oh yes,
Jarvan.
Jungle is Dead as the Jarvan. Yeah, I believe that's the case.
So I guess they kind of have 3 subs here. But
well, they swapped around the roles, yeah.
Right, yeah. Tetsuya on the Olaf. I'm really looking at him to get things rolling for Don Inferno, and definitely going to have to be in the bot lane here. Caitlyn Brum have a lot of pick potential. The range advantage on the Caitlyn against Misfortune is very, very good, especially if you do get that Stormrazor on lock. Because just Caitlyn, her siege potential is so good. If you get her out of the bot lane, you break the bot lane turret, you get first turret down there. If you put her in the mid lane and you have the side lane Kassadin or the Urgot as well, it's so devastating for Don. So if they are going to make this an even series in game 2, it has to come from Tetsuya going down the bot lane and making sure Double B can get ahead and out of this lane in a good position with the Stormrazor.
All right, with that in mind, we'll go into game number 2. LNZRO up 1-0 over Don Inferno, but they're not out of it yet. We saw, 2 games won, last night after 2 losses in a row, and this is only 1, so this series is far from over for Don Inferno. Obviously a rough start, but they've got plenty of time to come back in this one, and I know they've got more in them, so I'm excited to see this game number 2, how they respond, and we'll see that in just a couple minutes here. Stay tuned. We'll be back very, very soon. Welcome back, everyone. Game number 2, LNZRO versus Dawn Inferno, and as I've been talking about, a rough game 1, but with a lineup switch here, maybe this is Dawn Inferno's game. They come back here, reset the mental, and can get back into this one. Obviously, a tough draft in the mid lane for Campera up against Tuller with this Tristana. You know, that laning phase will be tough, but they do have more scaling this time around, especially Caitlyn in the late game. You know, with that cast, then could definitely be very, very scary. So we'll see what they can do here. You know, one thing going wrong won't spell doom for them. But looks like we just get a 5-point stand, start things off. Nothing crazy so far, not even wards this time around.
Yeah, Tuller playing in his head with the idea of face checking one of these brushes, definitely not what you want to do. As we know, the all-knowing spectators here, looks like he might be a little bit wise to it as well. As now, of course, he is Dardo Campara going over to drop some vision.
A late ward onto the Raptors here, so they'll know where the Trundle is going to be, as he looks like to be going towards that top side. A few autos exchanged, a few spells, so a little bit of health in the bot side here, but Trundle on that red buff, Olaf on the red buff as well. And we start game number 2 with basically a mirrored start for the junglers.
Yeah, we definitely do. Both of them trying to take down that red buff here. And it looks like Tatsuya actually did get quite a nice leash on it, which usually you actually don't want to do. Nice ulti on the Q there for fight fails, but like I was saying, you usually don't want to leash your Olaf that much. You want him to be a little bit low so that he can take the camps a little faster with his attack speed. But definitely is safer if he does come across a wild glacial troll in his vicinity.
That is always a bit scary there if you get a random troll running at you. I would be very scared if I saw a troll in my backyard running at me, personally here, but looks like the troll is on the bot side of the map on that blue buff. Tuller already taking aggressive trade level 2, and that's a pretty massive amount of damage there. A couple of corrupting potions going to be needed to heal that one up as the Olaf on the Krug. So both junglers on the bot side for now. We'll see if that, you know, if they both stay here for a while, but of course, Rift Scuttles will spawn in a moment. Here is another aggressive trade from Tuller. Flash away from Campera, and that's not a great sign if he's flashed away level 2.
Yeah, Tuller almost played that exactly perfectly. He just took a tower shot, so the trade's a little bit less good than it could have been for him. But the flash blown from Campara at level 2, like you were mentioning, very, very brutal here. Is basically exactly as bad as we expected from the draft. For the mid lane matchup anyway, Tuller just getting a very, very good advantage here, but here comes a Trundle.
Yeah, Mouse going in for a gank as the Kings then went in for a trade. He's now cut off in the alcove, and the Trundle pillar making sure he can't escape. Down goes the Braum, and that'll be a credit over to Hardstuck. But a nice gank from Mouse. He gets the assist, and a good start there in the bot lane. Now you got a good mid lane, good bot lane. What's happening top lane? Well, it's relatively even right now, so maybe that'd be a little one place where an advantage can be found for Dawn, as Dardo, you know, having a better start to the laning phase than his predecessor did.
And you were talking about how having a Trundle in your backyard is scary. What about your bot lane alcove? Yeah. That's exactly what Dawn Inferno just found there. Pretty tough spot to be in. Just taken down. Excellent gank, and it looks like Mouse Dixie showing his face, I believe, in the mid lane. But just going to be going on over to that other Scuttle Crab as Tatsuya, I believe, is already taking it down. He does exactly that.
I mean, you did all that effort to make some nice landscaping there, and all of a sudden the Trundle runs over and ruins it. I think that's pretty rude, to be honest.
Yeah, certainly true. That's kind of how I feel about the alcoves in general. Like, the Riot design team did all this landscaping to make it look nice, and no one even cares about the alcove.
It gets used every like third game, and you're like, wow, that's kind of dumb.
Wow, alcove gamer.
Alcove gameplay is the most exciting type of gameplay.
It really is. It's unfortunate that people don't do it more, because, you know, it's just very, very cool. I want to see more people taking advantage of it with Bard specifically, because he has a lot of really cool things he can do in there.
See, you could do that. Hold on, Tuller taking another trade. He's actually down a level right now, but he's got the Ignite here. Here comes Tatsuya trying it for the gank. Campera may go down to Ignite here. No, the potion will save his life. Tuller going to try and get out there. Has Flash, but here comes his jungler. Mouse Dixie coming in. Tatsuya will have to run away. Tuller, oh no, Tatsuya has to flash over the pillar. Tuller flashes to follow, but can't quite get there. So a bit awkward there, but in the end, no one going to go down, just a trade of summoner spells.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about with the Trundle pillars, putting a stop to the Olaf. in his tracks right there. Very, very tough spot to be in. Of course, he does not have Ragnarok, so it doesn't really matter that he's Olaf right there. Most any champion would have to flash away right there, but that's exactly what's going to happen later on in the game if he's in that same position, even if he does have Ragnarok. So
Personally, I would love to use Bard for some Alcove gameplay, but then I'd be playing Bard, and that's kind of a problem here. As we get an Infernal Dragon take here, Moustixi has the smite available, but getting very low. He's going to go down! A Kingsland has slain Moustixi. The Dragon is going to be stolen here by the Olaf. Tetsuya coming in. He'll most certainly die and won't be able to take anyone with him, but he steals the Infernal. Thanks to a bit of a risky play there. The Dragon take Moustixi out. So, Klein flashes forward. He had the feast. I didn't even realize he's going to flash forward and get the solo kill. So Dardo not having any more luck than his predecessor did, and Klein with another solo kill on the top side thanks to his feast.
Klein's Cho'Gath is so menacing right here, but before we get to that, we got to talk about what just happened to the Drake pit. Super unfortunate for Moustixi getting hit by that Braum Q over the wall. Had no vision of it, and he is going to go down. Nice assist by the Dragon. Looks like it is on Dawn's side. Is smited away by Tetsuya as well. Nice pickup right there. They are a Drake up now, which is the first time they have even taken a Drake this series. So they are at least turning things around, but up in the top side, much of the same. I think Klein's Cho'Gath is going to warrant a ban in the coming games.
Yeah, certainly I would ban it in the next game. It seems like no one can really deal with it in lane. At the moment, Tetsuya maybe here in the bot lane for a gank at Kingsland has found a tag onto Fails, but not able to stack the concussive blows needed. And here comes Tuller. He's level 5, but he's not afraid of anyone, it seems. Taking any fight at any time, it seems. He has that mindset you need to have on Tristani. You jump in, you kill someone, you jump out. Hey, like, I don't need to jump defensively if I just kill someone, right?
It's true, yeah. That's really the exact position that you want to be in, Donna. Getting the jump resets, exactly like Kazakhs. Kind of just a ranged Kazakhs if you're that far ahead, which feels pretty impressive. Here comes Tetsuya, still level 5. Just going to be soaking up some experience in the bot lane, it seems.
I think trying to save his bot lane from getting dove here. They're both very, very low, and so Tetsuya is just going to take the wave as his bot lane has to go back. I mean, that's really quite rough. A whole wave is going to collapse here, and Hardstuck is going to get even further ahead in CS, but Fails and Hardstuck have been doing an amazing job of getting that poke down. This Caitlyn's range has not been enough to keep that Misfortune Karma duo at bay, and Braum hasn't really been able to do much at all because he's just sitting there like, hey guys, I can't even hit you from a distance, really?
Yeah. It seems like Tetsuya is getting a nice trade there where he gets to pick up the minion wave, but look at where Klein and Moustixi are in the jungle right now. He's losing Gromp and Raptors for that because he's showing down bot side.
Oh, flash away from Gempera again here. Going to take the damage from the Ignite in the bomb and gets very low, but will survive. Tetsuya now going to cover mid lane, so Tetsuya's just running from lane to lane, covering it for his laners. Making sure the XP is there. Well, no, hold on. Klein's going to stay, and this seems... Or no, Gempera's going to stay, rather.
Wow.
And that seems like not a great idea. I feel like this is going to go poorly. Unless Tuller is just going to back off. Oh, it's okay.
Seems like Tuller could have rocket jumped, Buster shot, and then rocket jumped out, and that would have been a nice 300 gold for him. But not going to take it. Going to go for the blue buff and the recall instead. I mean, now in the bot lane, the bullet time's available for Hardstuck, so maybe Moustixi is going to want to come down there as he is on the Gromp right now.
I think maybe the mindset was, hey, the only way I can throw away this lead is if I die here by doing a dumb thing. And so now we get a gank in the bot side, flash in from Fails, a good ult from a Kingsland, but now the root on Double B. He takes so much damage, and Double B, well, just needs one more auto there. Hardstuck going to get sped up there by Fails. The Kingsland will surely get away, but his AD carry not so lucky, and Fails the flashing, got the root on the AD carry. Double B caught as Hardstuck made it rain on him. Klein now trying to win away from Dardo, but I'm not sure if Dardo has bitten off a bit more than he can chew. As Klein, again, has the feast up, always a danger, but the Rift Herald will be taken right now by that jungler. Tetsuya now on the Olaf, picking that one up, and we'll go back home, it looks like, as the top laners continue to bash on each other. Kingsland now caught in the jungle, flashes over the wall, but might get rooted. Indeed he will. Flash is not enough to get him away, and there's another kill. A little bit of a delayed double bot lane kill.
Yeah, very true. Unfortunately for Hardstuck, he was
Rupture
not a
and
part
Feast.
of that kill.
Klein, sorry.
Oh.
Klein just got another solo kill. Continue.
Yeah. Nothing to see here, folks. Klein just feasting on other top laners again. Doesn't really matter what top lane you put up there. Just take nameplates off. Klein will feast on you. He might even do it to like impact or something. Top die.
Top die for sure. Tetsuya, though, trying to make mid die. Tooler is here, but he's going to get the rocket jump out. Still has a flash. He's okay. TP coming in. That looks to be Klein. Trying to turn that one around, but unneeded. Thanks for the help, but you can go back top.
Maybe he's just there to assert dominance and make sure that Tetsuya knows if he even thinks about going for this next Drake, he's in for a world of hurt.
Well,
he might be in a world
Tetsuya,
of hurt right now.
no, Tooler jumping onto the jungle. Olaf, and the buzzer shot will get it. Campera now slowed up. He's going to have to use that Rift Lock defensively, although Tooler's taking a bit of damage. But thanks to those turrets, there's a safety soon for Campera. He will get away. Unfortunately, his jungler not so lucky. Tetsuya now his second death of the game.
Yeah, and we were talking about it before the game began about this is definitely a composition where Dawn is not going to FF at 18 minutes. How many kills does LNZRO need to get before that is no longer the case and they are going to FF?
I'm not sure, but it looks like Dardo, he's still on the offensive, running in as we get a Cloud Drake, but the TP seems to not really be paying off for them. No play there. Dardo gonna waste that cooldown, but maybe just gonna head over to bot lane, say hello to his friends over there as Klein gonna push in the wave in the top side. We have another quite a long time before the next Rift Herald, but there is one still in the inventory here for Tetsuya, so maybe a play to be made there.
Yeah, Dardo right there was just like, wait, this top laner just solo killed me twice, and then he teleported for no reason. I'm doing something wrong. I need to also teleport for no reason. Let's go! And then he gets in there and he teleports for no reason.
I mean, it's just, it's nice. It's a gentleman thing to do, is they both top laners waste TP, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But in any case, both teleports are now down. As Tooler gets his first plate of the game. Kind of shocking that it's only happening at 12.5 minutes here, but a plate's a plate.
He's been busy trying to kill people, you know? He hasn't had time to hit turrets, but he's only gotten the one kill. As Hardstuck now taking a bit of damage as he charges forward, but certainly returns much of it. And Tooler gonna get his second plate quickly after the first.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected, but honestly looking at this build, it seems like Tooler is either sitting on a lot of gold, or he has missed a lot of CS.
Sitting at about 1,700 right now, so a bit of both.
Yeah, okay. So he definitely has enough to go back and get the pieces. Oh, Kingsland may have walked too far.
Gonna miss the ultimate. Double B gonna force the flash out of Hardstuck. Fails now caught on the other side here. Fails gonna grab the kill onto Kingsland as he fades away. Malstixi now trying to get onto Tetsuya and Double B. Double B out of mana. Tetsuya, he's gonna have to flash out, but still goes down. Make It Rain does a bit of damage. Double B now trying to run away. The trap gonna buy a bit of room, but again, now he's finally out of mana as Malstixi going in underneath the turret. They'll get the kill. One more turret shot. Malstixi will survive and a double kill for the Trundle.
Yeah, deja vu to last game where LNZRO picked up 3 quick kills in the bot lane. Of course, that one was first blood in the 2 subsequent kills, but this time it is 10-1. LNZRO again asserting their dominance in this bot side. They've got the Rift Herald though, summoned in the base yet again for Dawn. Again, deja vu, but that's gonna be the first turret drop before the plates are down for LNZRO.
LNZRO looks just fantastic. I was joking about actually getting to watch the football game, but I literally might get to watch the football game. Like I don't know how fast the series is going, but the pace they're playing at, I mean, LNZRO is just smashing Dawn right now, and Campera, oh no. I'm getting worried for him. And now Klein gonna hide in the brush, trying to take that Rift Herald out, but Campera is here. Klein up 1 level, has its 2nd level in Feast at 11 here, but looks like he's just more interested in taking out the Rift Herald than he is in killing Campera. Here comes Hardstuck as well as Fails walking up to top lane. Campera now getting slowed up by Righteous Glory, and Klein has finally turned his attention to the champion once Shelly is gone. Dardo here as well, but it's still a 2v3 flash away from Campera as Klein, you know, going forward aggressively. Not able to get the kill there, but another flash out of Campera, who's done a good job. Hasn't even died this game, but has used his cooldowns defensively almost the entire time now as the turret in the top side most likely going to fall.
Yeah, yet again, Campera is the shining light here for Dawn.
Oh, Dardo goes in, finds Fails. Good flash out, though. Ragnarok used, Fails. Oh, he's going to get that ult blocked. Ace in the hole. As now the Make It Rain was blocked by Kingsland. A great shield there. Both AD carries ults relatively ineffectual. as Double B gets a bit of damage off onto Hardstock, and here comes Mal60. The Pillar going to stop a Double B here for a moment as Darda going in, fails, going to get the heal from his AD carry, and Hardstock will be able to kill him, saving his support. Well done there. Dawn now in retreat, all of them below half health. And it looks like, well, Tristana in the mid lane going to take a turret here, so another positive play for lane 0 as they lose nothing really and get a couple kills in a turret.
Yeah, they lose nothing, but luckily for Dawn...
Oh, there's more here. Mal60 diving. We're going to have a full-on team. Mal60 going in. Going to find a Kingsland. Yes, he will. And now compare the last member left alive. And triple kill as the troll ends up going down to the turret. And the Caston will get away, but still 4 kills in total at the end of that one, and more turrets to come.
Yeah, I was about to say that Dawn really desperately needed to get out of that situation before they got cleaned up by Tuller, but it ended up that Mal60 was the one to get in there and get a triple kill. Unfortunately, he walks face first into the turret that is not hitting anything else, so he has a little bit of an unceremonious death, but triple kill nonetheless for Mal60. And this goes back to what I was saying here, Kios. How many kills does lane 0 need to get before Dawn Revenant FFs at 18 again? Because 14 seems like a lot.
It is. That's a lot of kills. It's 14-2 as well. It's not like it's a 13-14 game or like 10-14 where it's like, oh, there's a lot of deaths, but you know, we're just kind of, you know, big fights, lots of killing each other. This is 14-2. The Dragon gonna be started up now as well. Tuller, Klein, and Mal60 here, and Klein will take that. Nom nom nom. And now 17 minutes, and we've crushed that. Remember, 18.5 minutes was when they forfeited last game. We'll see if they decide to make that decision here as well. This game, 9k gold down, you know, 12 kills. Bad situation, but like we said before, it's Caston, it's a Caitlyn, a lot of scaling here. You can play for the late game and potentially get back in this one. Obviously, not an easy task, but there is a way to win this game from here, unlike the last game with the competition they had.
Yeah, certainly true. The Kassadin is definitely, I keep saying this, but Compara on this Kassadin, just like he was in the Akali, is their saving grace. If he... nice tag onto Klein.
Concussive blows onto Klein, but he's so healthy. He's already got so many resistances. They just can't kill him very quickly, even if they get a stun on him. They need to like run him down the lane and stun him like 3 or 4 times to even try and kill him.
Yeah, they really do. Look at that. That Rupture did about as much damage to Double B as the 2 members just did to Klein with about 10 attacks. So that's pretty rough. Is he maxing Rupture? I would be surprised if he wasn't. Yeah, okay, he does have Rupture max. It looked like it did a lot of damage there.
This Rupture gonna miss a good sidestep from Double B. Some more concussive blows stacks as there another stun will be found, but this Rupture lands as well onto Double B. Klein just sitting there taking the damage. He's walking for his Vorpal Spikes. Tatuyas here. Why just Glory used, and he finds this low onto Double B. Rupture misses again though, and oh no, the Cho'Gath not gonna find a kill here. He's just getting kited and slowly whittled down. Oh no, he gets it! Oh, he found the feast onto the Olaf. I didn't believe it. All of a sudden, the feast came out of nowhere, and a huge kill by Klein somehow got it in a 3v1.
Oh my god.
Rift Herald in the mid lane as well. Gonna get a charge on the inhibitor, and that should fall. There's 3 members bot lane, remember. They're still backing, trying to get here to defend.
That's an inhibitor at 18 minutes. Oh my. As if I was already saying this, Klein's Cho'Gath should be banned from every single game that he plays in from now on. This is just not allowed. You can't just do this to things.
It's not very polite whatsoever, but inhibitor gonna fall in the top side as well. Darda going in, finds, fails once again. Will he be able to kill? Yes, he will. Gets the execute. A big fear, but he goes down immediately after. Now Tetsuya running away, Compare as well on the run. Ace in the hole used. It's on to Mal60. You blocked it for hard stuck. Chase being given. Kingsland finds Mal60, doesn't make it. Rain comes down. The team fight breaking out. Tuller, a lot of damage here. Make it rain. Yeah, mostly blocked. Here's a Kingsland going to die to the bomb from Tuller. Resets coming in. And there's the Tristana just hopping aggressively. More kills coming through. A double for the Misfortune. And that seems to be in almost ace. Compara's still alive, but they got 4 kills, and that should be a second inhibitor.
Yeah, no FF to come out for Dawn Inferno, but it looks like they kind of wish that they did. 2 inhibitors before 20 minutes, and the Nexus turrets are being attacked with a Tristana and a Cho'Gath that can tank it up for days. This might be the end.
Okay, Compare in the backline finds a lot of damage on Tuller, but he gets buster shotted back out of there. Mal60 pulled in by Dardo. Heal up, though. He might be able to survive with the damage from his teammates. No, Dario gets the kill, but soon falls after. That next turret going down. Here comes the King's Land. He's got his 8 here as well. Double B and Tetsuya now trying to come in and save the game. Then the second next turret going to go down. Hardstuck and Tetsuya still firing away. The Cho'Gath tanking up for the most part. Another Rupture going to sail wide, but it's just zoning them out. The Nexus under fire. Hardstuck, Cooler, and Klein trying to make it happen. But, oh, Flash from a King's Land. And there you go. The Ragnarok going to make sure he gets the kill. Flashes out from the Rupture to avoid the damage. Klein, though, gets the kill in the end. King's Land tanking it up. But the Nexus dies. Tooler on it the entire time. Game 2 over to LNZRO.
Oh man. Honestly, I just don't know what to say. LNZRO are just leaving me speechless with how fast that they're able to dismantle Dawn Inferno here. So clean out of them. They were kind of just playing with their food at the end, but they got the Nexus anyway, so it ended up being the right play to just kind of go in for the end, even though the death timers were so low at 20 minutes. It's crazy. I mean, LNZRO is definitely making Hardstuck FF15's name stick here for Dawn Inferno. You should take his advice. Take his advice, I guess. This is crazy.
Yeah. Just a crazy first two games there. LNZRO now up 2-0 over Dawn Inferno. Sub 20-minute games in both of them. One a forfeit and one, destruction of the Nexus. LNZRO look near unstoppable in this series. But again, last night, 2 games, not quite like this, but certainly 2 games that went over to one side. You thought, oh, it's over. The series is over. No way. And then all of a sudden, 2 games back, and eventually Ivy ended up taking it. But we got to a game 5, so maybe Dawn Inferno have it in them to come back here. We'll see. Going to be game 3 coming at you very, very soon. All right, welcome back, everyone. Game number 3, LNZRO up 2-0, and what a 2 games it was. I mean, both sub 20-minute games. One a forfeit, one, the Nexus went down. But how do you come back from this? Obviously, we said there's still a chance here, of course. I mean, those games have no bearing on what you do now in the future. But how do you even recover from that mentally? You know, as a team, what do you even do here?
I am kind of at a loss for words here because LNZRO just won 2 games in less time than it took either team last night to win 1 game. So that's pretty silly. Back to the misfortune here for Hardstuck. I think you have to double down on getting at least 1 lane ahead, because they haven't been able to do it in any of the lanes. I think that Campara has been doing a really, really good job against Tuller at kind of just not losing too hard. Of course, he definitely did not in game 2, but you can't really blame him. Casting it into Tristana is a terrible matchup. But Akali into Kennen did not seem too bad for him in the early stages. So, and it looks like he's going to be on the Vel'Koz this time, unless that's going over to Kingsland. Blind picking your mid lane here seems kind of rough. So far, I'm not really liking the draft from Dawn.
Well, they did ban away that Cho'Gath, so at least that won't be a problem for them. The Cho'Gath of Klein has been a problem, for sure, in the past 2 games. A thorn in their side, and sometimes, well, not a thorn in their side. They've just been inside him, just feasting on all of them, solo kills all over the place. I mean, it's been a massive pick for him. Banned away this time around, though, and actually Malstixi going for the Zac in the jungle, so an interesting pick there to combo with Misfortune. Again, more team fighting AoE kind of stuff going on there, but it seems like they've won all their games in the early on. It hasn't been the team fighting. We never even got to that point, really.
We're getting a little bit of a flexed pick here from LNZRO. They've got the Pike. Not that it can go into different roles, which it can, but flexing in that they are asserting dominance in this pick. Actually a very, very tough matchup for Pike into the Poppy, though. If that does go to support, it's actually super, super solid. So I really, really like the Poppy here, either for Dardo or for Kingsland. Like I was saying, they have some options here for support. They could be the Vel'Koz, could be the Poppy. It could be neither of those, and those are their solo lanes. They have a lot of options here on Dawn, but Poppy is a really, really solid pick against both the Pike and the Zac, so I like that.
Definitely a good pick into those matchups here, and Poppy played yesterday. I think it was a pretty solid pick overall. We have a Camille ban and a Braum ban, so both these series have had Braum quite prominently featured. But yeah. I'm interested by that, because it hasn't seemed like it's been that popular recently. Like, it's still, Braum is kind of always there. He's one of those champions that's always hovering around the meta, but he really hasn't been that popular recently. I'm very confused as to why that. Do you have an opinion? You know why that's why people, why people are picking it? Because it just seems kind of uncommon nowadays.
It's quite nice at bolstering the power of immobile ADs, and there are a lot of those in the meta right now. You've got Caitlyn, you've got Xayah, who doesn't really need the Braum, but it helps. And you've got, Jhin, I guess, is one of them. You've got Jhin and Misfortune, who these 2 players are really seeming to favor. But the big one is, of course, Aphelios, and Braum really, really helps out those champions a lot, because you can provide that extra bit of appeal, and the passive, of course, is really nice as well. So I think it makes a lot of sense in this meta. Not quite as much sense as something like a Nautilus. So if Kingsland wants to go for the Nautilus here, I would actually like it better than if you would pick Braum. So I think Nautilus is a better ban and should be higher priority than these teams are really giving it. But Braum definitely is not super outlandish in this meta.
Well, we'll see if we get the Nautilus here. Ornn and Ryze picked up, so we know probably Ryze mid here and Pike support with that Misfortune. So some crazy damage there in the bot lane. Ornn top, Zac jungle here for LNZRO, and now we get a potential Nautilus pick, like you alluded to. Maybe that's it, or maybe that's gonna be a flex Vel'Koz. We'll see what the decision is here for them. At Kingsland has all the information. He knows exactly what both teams are playing, and it will be a support Vel'Koz. So actually, Tetsuya taking the Lee Sin playmaking potential here, and it looks like Poppy top, Talia mid, Jin and Vel'Koz's bot lane, so a crazy poke bot lane going to come through with those guys. And Misfortune Pyke, I mean, if they can get onto him, potential for a kill, but actually getting onto them and, absorbing that poke, that's a tough lane. So we'll see what Dawn can do, but obviously, switching up, they're trying new things. I respect that a great deal.
Yeah, for all the options that they had here, putting the Talia jungle, they could have had Poppy support, they could have had Vel'Koz mid. I think that the Vel'Koz is pretty rough against Pyke. I don't think they were really thinking too much about that. And oh, this is actually interesting. Are we gonna get the Ornn mid for Tueler? That'd be kind of crazy.
Ooh. Looks like Klein going to take the Rise top lane into the Poppy, and Ornn going to take, or Tueler going to take the Ornn, rather. Maybe Ornn is taking Tueler on his back. I'm not sure. Tueler going to take the Ornn into mid lane up against the Talia. So an interesting switch up. They are TP for both those guys. Talia with the heal. So a slight TP advantage there by one there for Tueler and LNZRO. But an interesting swap there for them. I assume he still builds tank. I don't think there's any sort of crazy build in mid lane, but we'll see what they do here. Also, obviously paired with the Zac. It'd be a very interesting mid lane 2v2 there.
Yeah, I was really excited to see Klein's Ornn, as Ornn is essentially just the modern day version of Cho'Gath. This big beefy tank you want in the front line of your team fight that still deals more damage than tanks really have the right to do. So I was excited to see Klein perform on that champion, but he is on Rise. So Rise is just one of the best champions in the entire game right now. We could still see Tueler just go up the top and they do a little bit of a lane swaps where they have Ornn up there, but I assume the idea here is that they have Ornn go mid so that they can avoid the Poppy matchup, because Poppy quite good against Ornn. He's got two dashes that are quite crucial to his kit. One a little bit more than the other. Of course, if you can cancel out the Ornn ulti dash, you're feeling really good about yourself if you're Dardo here. But the other dash is quite nice to cancel out as well. As he has the unstoppable on his W instead of the charge, which I think is a little bit of a mismatch there for Ornn. But that's neither here nor there. They haven't decided to do that. I expect pretty big things for Dardo in this game if they can get to a stage where they're not already instantly losing team fights like it kind of has been in the last two games.
Yeah. Well, a quick first two games. Maybe we'll get a bit longer one here, but a Lee Sin from Tetsuya, a Vel'Koz support, some picks you get to see as often as you would as you would hope, because there are such cool champions here. We get an Ornn mid. You don't get to see that too often either. And Klein, it's not often you say, oh, he doesn't get to play Cho'Gath. Well, this game's gonna be boring. I don't think many people make that statement too often, or then follow it up with, hey, well, he doesn't get to play Ornn, so that's kind of boring. Like, this is kind of crazy that Klein has sort of transformed these champions into something that's actually entertaining to watch. But Klein, with all these solo kills, certainly has made it that way. So they're going to be playing the Rise, which is a bit disappointing, a bit Resident Sleeper, but that'll be a Mage versus Poppy up in the top side. So we'll see how that one plays out. But we'll be back for game number 3, LNZRO versus Dawn Inferno, in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. Game number 3, possibly our last game of the night. I mean, it happened pretty quick. I don't know how we got here so fast, but potential for a sweep here for LNZRO. I mean, I shouldn't call it yet, but they've been pretty quick about their games. Both sub 20-minute games here, very much juxtaposed against our last series on Friday. So I'm feeling I'm just so confused. I don't know how we're here, and I'm ready for another 6 hours of gameplay, but perhaps we only have a couple more minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been like an hour and a half, right? So we still have to go through that exact thing 4 times to get to the same length as yesterday. Oh, alright, the Q does not land on the King's Land.
Bone Skewer going to sail a bit wide, and people just throwing out spells here level 1. No one really hitting much of anything.
And we're getting a little bit of an NA ram. Maybe they thought that they queued up for Legend of the Poro King. That game mode is actually surprisingly fun. It's a lot more fun than NA than regular ARAM in my opinion.
Personally, I think I would vote it to be the cutest game mode. I'd make that statement. I think
you get a nice dodgeball game style.
Yeah.
Ooh. Getting a little bit of an invade here.
A little bit of a late invade here. A bit hard stuck and fails going in, but miss some of their spells here. Hardstuck got at least some damage off onto King's Land. Tetsuya gets that blue buff to start things off on the bot side. Zach on the top side with his blue buff.
Oh, the Comet Ornn. Wow. I don't know what I think about that, but he's got it.
Well, is he going to build AP Ornn? Is that what's happening? Well, I guess Ornn's kind of funny because he scales off like everything. He scales off of MR, he scales off of armor, he scales off of AD and AP. He scales off of like every stat.
Yeah, he definitely does. We can see up on the top side, Dardo is already having a rough time. Bone Skewer. Oh my goodness, just tickling the ankles of Double B there.
Able to get away. His cloak didn't get caught up in that Bone Skewer, thankfully.
Yeah. Edna Mode would be upset if she saw this Jhin skin. Actually, I think all the Jhin skins have capes, don't they?
Well, the capes differ in size between all the skins, and some of them are like tighter to the body, but they essentially all do. As Bone Skewer gonna land this time around, and Double B has to flash out from that stun. Nice job there by Fails. Double B stays alive though, good flash there. No one dead quite yet, but it's starting to get a bit risky to stick around. Oh, nice double up there as well from Hardstuck onto King's Land.
And again, we look up at the top side, and Klein is just completely bullying Dardo. Down to his last corrupting pot. He does have the Time Warp tonic, so he's getting a little bit of movement speed out of that. The burst healing as well. I've always kind of assumed that rune is kind of just useless unless you actually are using the movement speed. Oh my goodness.
Bot lane, they found the stun onto the Jhin. Want flash in. Hardstuck's gonna get the kill. He's gonna go down to a King's Land though, so a trade of 80 carries here. In fact, both supports can be credited with the kills. King's Land very low on mana. Fails has no summoner spells. King's Land has flash, but looks like neither are going to go for the kill on each other. No supportal combat here. Dardo and Klein, again, as you highlighted earlier, a significant health discrepancy between them. Although the Rai is eventually going to run out of mana, so maybe be a reprieve for Dardo soon.
There's your problem, Kios. You're thinking that Double B and Hardstuck are the ADs here. It's actually Fails and King's Land who are the carries. Double B and Hardstuck are the supports in this lane. So that's why those kills did go over. And of course the supports dying for their carries. As nice use of the unstoppable.
Yeah, got the unstoppability right just as he's gonna get knocked back by the seismic shot. Beautifully played there by Tuller, aiming to survive that gank without even using flash.
Excellent work there by Tuller. Some fancy footwork and nice use of the Bell's Breath on top of it to not get knocked away by that seismic shove. He's building an item. Let's see what he chooses. It is a Mana Crystal as a
good flash from Gampere, but the Bone Skewer lands, and now he's in a bit of trouble. Heal gonna get the movement speed he needs, perhaps to get out. Oh no, the Zac gonna go into his Bloblet form here. Klein has TP, so does Tuller to try and save their. Okay. Well, they just let him die.
Yeah. That's pretty rough. Gampere just bursting out those Bloblets. And LNZRO gonna save their teleports instead of their green boy in the jungle. So feels bad for Melstixi.
Yeah. Well, I suppose Klein could have gotten interrupted, but Tuller could have like walked away and just TP'd onto it. But hey, I guess that really shows you how much you mean to your teammates. Your life isn't worth a 5-minute cooldown. 6 minutes now. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Okay, now I see why.
That extra minute really puts the nail in the coffin.
Yep. I got it. Well, hold on. We're at 5.5 minutes, and actually, guess what? Don's in the lead.
Hey, nice job, Don.
Yeah.
Making it a series.
Yeah. Well, another good buffer by Tuller. Well done.
Yeah.
Making sure he doesn't get knocked up or knocked back.
Oh man, is Dardo dead?
Nope.
Oh,
Not
okay.
gonna quite get hit by the last bit of damage needed. And Klein gonna run away cursing as Fails hits the Bone Skewer, but too far away to make a play on.
Yeah, the minions are a little bit too far back for Fails to go further on that. As is Hard Stuck, honestly. Just stuck killing those away. Nice Q there from Kingsland. Oh, the teleport's coming in.
Yep, TP
Is that
from
Tuller?
behind. This is what they were saving it for. Tuller coming in. Double B gets hooked and stunned up. TP from Dardo as well as Klein coming in. Fails low. He's going to get killed there as now Double B knocked up by the call of the Forge God. All of a sudden, Dardo is knocked away hard stuck, but it's still a 2v2 here as the Realm Warp coming in to make sure outnumbered. Campera comes in off the wall. He's going to find a knockdown. Hard stuck, going to heal, going to save his life. Tuller now bashing onto Dardo. Mouse 60 here as well. Hard stuck, going to be, nope, going to be knocked back by Dardo. Down he goes. Klein low on health and mana. He can't help flashing out. Campera chasing him, but a 2v1 on the other side. Dardo going to go down. Mouse 60 and Tuller now looking towards Campera. Mouse 60 no ultimate. Tuller has already used his Campera. Now looking for the stones. He can't quite find the kill on a Tuller. One more auto. We'll do it. Tuller goes down. Double kill for Campera. Mouse 60 now in a 1v1 situation. No passive, and he's getting very low. Gonna not quite get the damage needed as he finds a knockup by Campera with a triple kill. Rights the ship for his team. 7-4 in kills, and now Campera 4-0.
Yeah, and this is the kind of lead that Campera was looking for the last 2 games. Of course, he was the only member who wasn't really dying in these early plays. This time, he starts this game 4-0. Very, very nice stuff. I believe he will have enough to get those upgraded boots and maybe something else. He's staying around. Oh, he's just going to heal up. All right, so Campera very, very quick now on this Tilly, and even though against Tuller he can't get the seismic shove down, that triple kill is going to make his damage felt by Tuller.
Oh, Malstixi now on the blue left. Tetsuya is here as well. Malstixi down a level, but going to find the stretching strike to pull him back, kick away. Going to get that blue buff Tetsuya with the smite, and now knocked into the wall is Klein. He's trying to get away. Tuller here to support. It's 2v3. Eventually, Campera will come down. He's making his way over now, and it's a 3v3. Campera going to miss the seismic shove as well as most of his other abilities. Hop away. Malstixi going to get out here as Tetsuya not quite able to find that strike he needed to grab that kill. Now is Dardo going to clear the ward, and looks like no one going to die. Blue buff over to Tetsuya.
Yeah, shocking that no one died there. All things considered, very, very violent fight, but not quite lethal on any front.
Oh, hold on, Dardo is sticking around in the jungle here. If Malstixi is not careful, he could fall. Bone Skewer going to not land this time around from Fails. He's been pretty good with those. Tuller now cutting off Dardo as he stayed a bit too long in the jungle. He's going to interrupt that dash here with Steadfast Presence. Campera coming in, as well as the call of the Forge God. Going to miss. Dardo. Mikero might get away here. Tetsuya coming into the backside here. Malstixi proxing the ultimate to try and get away from Tetsuya. He will indeed get away, but now on the other side, the Orin going to fall, and now Klein, well, he's going to get taken out as well. Mizik's the only one to survive. The Soul Laner's down. The Jungler survives, but the collapse not quite fast enough. The Steadfast Presence so good there to interrupt the dash from Malstixi and save him.
Yeah, and it just seems like these champions on Dawn in their top side have a lot more durability and damage than that of LNZRO. And looking at the champions, you definitely gotta admit that that's just true based on what the champions are. It's 9 minutes into the game. Klein, Malstixi, and Tuller are playing scaling champions, and Tetsuya and Campara are playing these early game champions. So really just kind of disrespectful from LNZRO to go for these trades. They do still have the scaling later on those 2 champions, so if it goes later, then they have the advantage, but kind of just disrespecting Dawn. And I mean, you can't really blame him after the first 2 games, but Dawn is exactly what
going to
they
land
need
in the bot side. Fails, connects it, and down he goes. Execution. Taken under the water. Fails now trying to get onto Double B. Hard stuck here, layering in the autos, but not quite enough damage to get Double B as well. They find the support, though, at Kingsland dead for the 2nd time this game. And Fails able to get that execution and share some gold.
Yeah, the death from below kill. Oh, I heard it again. Is that sound global? Or is that just
I think it's
because
because the camera moved over at the last second.
Okay.
But the death from below, was just used on the minions there to push the lane, I think. Tetsuya here, may be able to find fails with a Sonic Strike. No, gets hard stuck. Dragon Rage available. He's going to connect it as well on the second part of the queue. Now he needs just one more auto flashes in for it. He gets blocked by the minions, though. Tetsuya's going to die to the turret. Oh, no. And the Talia on the other side may fall. Tooler and Mystixie coming down. He's killed the support, though, so Compare going to get out with a flash, and he gets the support kill there. And now a seismic shove pulls Tooler back. Root going to miss, though. Double B. Trying to give chase alongside Compare. The stone's coming in, and Kingsland gonna find his abilities as well, grabbing his third kill of the game.
Yeah, you hate to see it with the minion block on the Tatsuya, but Campara making it worth his while. He does kill the Pike, and then as well he kills Tooler on the Orin. So yeah, Campara is just doing a very, very phenomenal job in this. Dardo liking this trade against Klein. That's all there is to it, I guess.
No follow-up afterwards. Klein is actually down a bit of CS because of all the roaming and plays around the map that have happened.
True.
6-0-3, though. Compare very, very strong on this Talia. Still sitting on a Lost Chapter in boots, though. Has 2,500 gold in inventory, so certainly wants to go back soon. The Dragon, though, is being taken right now as Klein and Dardo continue to fight. Klein is actually down a bit in this trade and not able to get back. Curtain Call used, and the Dragon slain in the bot side as Mouse is coming in for the Yank. Stretching Strike, finds it, cannot connect it in time, gets knocked away. Good ultimate there.
Yeah, he definitely did need to go for that. He was in danger of dying as Klein does deal quite a bit of damage if he's not in melee range of Dardo. But Dardo taking advantage of that, going in with a heroic charge, making sure that they do get some more even trades.
Oh, hooked by fails. Kingsland trying to flash out, but the Make It Rain, not quite enough damage. Kingsland now without his flash.
Yeah, Fails does have the death from below, so he really does have to recall very, very far away from this turret. He does not just die quickly to that damage. And that's going to be the first plate of the bot lane, I believe. Yeah, the blue turret is fully healthy. And again, these plates are not really falling all that much. Of course, last game LNZRO did get an entire turret before the plates fell, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's not gonna happen this time.
Klein again taking the worst end of that trade. Dardo has somehow turned this lane around. After the first couple levels are really tough for him, he's done a good job. Now that he's got some gold in his pockets.
I said the turret wasn't going to fall, but they've already knocked down 3 of those plates, and it looks like Mystixie is an alcove. So that might end up happening. However,
Tooler taking a lot of damage in the mid lane, has to flash out. Campera now with the Luden's Echo completion, putting a lot of pressure on Tooler. Call the Forge God going to be used here, just to clear out the minions as best he can. Klein now locks up Dardo underneath the turret, but no turret aggro was drawn. Dardo coming back now that the root has been used, trying to push him out of turret range. We'll find this done against the wall, and oh my god, okay. Well, that wasn't necessary. You didn't need to steal that one.
And Tetsuya does have the Rift Herald. I believe he just used it. No, he didn't. He's trying to get into the lane to use it with the minions. All right, there it is. That's going to be the Rift Herald used up in the top lane as Campara does pick off his 3rd plate in the bot lane. And still, Mystixie's kind of just an alcove gamer.
Well, here comes the Make It Rain. Kingsland gonna get dunked. The kill comes through. Flash away, but Double B still gets pulled back from the Stretching Strike. The damage is there. The turret will knock the Zac into his Bloblet form. But the turret may get killed before the Zac goes down. No. TP from Klein? Not used. Okay, Mystixie still survives, though. Just a very close call. As Tooler trying away from Campera. Now he's down 2 levels, very low on health. Trying to run to his support to help him out. Turret shot, not quite enough. The stones will be enough, though, as Fails is a little bit too late to help out his mid laner, Tooler, who somehow has died 4 times this game. I think that's more than he's died in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think it is too, actually. Campara is just popping off on this Talia in this mid lane matchup against the melee Ornn. That triple kill really, really helping out. He does already have that Luden's Echo fully purchased. Now with the plates down, oh my goodness, Mystixie's in the mid.
Looks like everyone going to back off. Dardo looking for the engage. Not going to quite find the stun onto Hardstuck at Kingsland. Takes a bit of damage there as well on the double up. Here comes Fails. Finds him Tetsuya in the brush. No commitment there, though. Just looking in the front line, but nothing. Yep. Tetsuya though, fine. Nope. Okay, good play by Fails though. If the Lee Sin had taken that, Fails would have gotten the stun as he came in.
Yeah, no Lee Syndrome there for Tetsuya. You know, this game, Dawn is very, very ahead. You can't take that away from them here. And most of that is on Campara. But if you look at this bot lane here, Hardstuck did pick up that full bot lane turret. I believe the plates fell for the last one, but he got 4 plates out of it. Now an entire BF sword and Essence Reaver completion up over Double B. Looking very, very good. If the team fights do land here, those bullet times are going to be dealing so much damage if Hardstuck can land them onto multiple people. You got to think that this is a very volatile spot to be in for Dawn, even though Campara is so far ahead, just because Campara is mostly single target damage and Hardstuck can deal damage to multiple people. So the team fights are still kind of in lane 0, but here comes the Call of the Force God.
Yep, gonna find the knock up here onto Campara. And now Mazikti here as well, and I think that this is gonna be a kill onto him. I don't know what's going on. There's so much happening. But eventually he just goes down. A dunk from Fails as he's gonna find the X onto Campara. Dardo now in the river. He might get pulled in. Tetsuya here as well. In fact, Fails gonna miss that Bone Skewer onto Tetsuya. Mazikti gonna use the last slingshot over the wall, and everyone gonna get out okay. As a big shutdown on Campara.
Yeah, a crucial one at that, by the way. Oh my goodness, the flash charge!
No, the support's gonna die. Mouse Dixie now as well, knocked up. Down he goes. Support in jungle dead. The Zac now gone means a free dragon take if they want it. That's the Ocean coming up as everyone heads over to take that one. So 2 nice picks. Gonna make sure that they secure this one out. There's no potential for a smite steal, and no one in the area to even steal it with an ability. So there you go. Ocean Drake over 69 in kills. Dawn and Inferno actually up only a little bit in gold, about 1,000, as the AD carry position has a significant gap. But Dawn and Inferno are in the lead. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, we might be seeing a Dawn Infernal Soul as well, as they are 2 Drakes up. That is the Infernal map. We now have to squint our eyes a little bit because the sun just got out on Summoner's Rift here. And yeah, they're in a pretty solid position right here. Again, the team fights are still a little bit dicey, and they did just lose that pretty giant shutdown on Campara, who's a little overextended in the bot lane. But winning that fight and securing that Drake does mean that they definitely are in this game once it goes to late game, especially if they can pick up that soul.
A quick thank you while we have a moment to breathe to Sublife and Prominent Reflection for their subs and gifted subs. It means a lot to us and helps support the league. So we can keep putting on some more, I don't know, leagues, more seasons. I don't know, more games.
Yeah, more games in League of Legends.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. That's what we're all here for.
I mean, the bottom line is Dawn might have a say about more games tonight. This game number 3, well, you felt like they were out of it after the first 2, but now all of a sudden, as a good hook there by Fails, but no follow-up. Now the Poppy and Zac getting each other in the river. Haven't made much of a dent yet on each other, as Tuller pushing in the top wave. No one there to respond to him.
We're getting a lot of Fs in the chat. Did something go wrong with the stream here? Are we good?
Hopefully not. All right.
People are claiming slideshow.
We'll close everything. Hopefully it gets better. I can't, again, as I've said before, internet, I'm at my mercy of my own internet here. As a TP gonna come in the mid lane. Dawn Inferno. 5 strong in the mid lane. We got a split push going on here. We got the Ornn in the top side, pushing out that wave, and now we're gonna crash into the inner turret there.
And now Double B has fully completed his Storm Razor, so he getting up to par with Hardstuck. Of course, like I was talking about with Campara, he has a lot of single target damage. So again, they are going to need to shut down this Misfortune, and probably Klein as well on the Rise, because the damage members from lane 0 are all AoE. They've got the Rise, they've got the Misfortune, they have a lot of AoE crowd control as well with Mouse Dixie and Tuller. And that's going to be pretty devastating if it's a 5v5 situation. Like I was talking about in game 1, Dawn really do need to split up the map, like they're doing right now, in fact, and make sure that the 5v5 does not happen. That's really the one way that they can take a loss in the coming fights.
Well, Dardo and Klein in the side lane hitting each other a bit. Dardo actually winning this as Klein is running away with his phase rush. They're not quite able to find the stun. Trying to charge him into the turret, but Dardo actually, with that turret damage, loses out on the overall fight there. Another minute and a half on the next Drake. Gonna be an Inferno.
Oh, Sonic Wave does land onto Fails. I don't think he's gonna take that one, as it would be a 1v situation. It's a nice Q. So we're in a little bit of a lull state right now, just trying to fight for vision until that next Drake doesn't come up. Because of course, both teams are definitely going to want to start picking up these Infernal Drakes, especially LNZRO, who are already down 2 Drakes. They really do not want to be in a situation where Dawn has 3 Drakes and only one of them would get them the soul. Because then, at that point, you're in a really tough position to where, do you give your enemy team soul so that you can take Baron? Or do you fight for Baron with the enemy team? Like, it's really just a terrible spot to be in. For LNZRO, so they're definitely going to want to pick up this Drake.
Well, the gold is actually now dead even, 36.4k for both sides. Well, it just changed. Okay. Games wants to mess with me. Now it's 36.5, but my point is the gold is dead even now. The lead that was, that the Dawn had has shrunk. It's nothing now. In this game where they had a lead in, it felt like they might win this one. It felt like they might get back in the series. All of a sudden, that's a little bit more in doubt. In LNZRO, they had a rough start to it, but have feel like completely gotten back into it.
Yeah, definitely true.
The gold, you also have to consider the Ornn items. Going to change gold here as Tula gets knocked back on a seismic shove, but not too much damage going to be taken. TP in. Now 60 going in. He's going to get stopped by Dardo, though. Stretching Strike misses here. Tetsuya has to flash out from Fails, and now his Kingsland putting damage in the background. Bullet time, finding a bit of damage, but not quite enough just yet. Lifeform Incineration Ray also sails wide. Tula going to get killed in the front line here. Fails down as well. It's 2 big picks to start off the fight here for Dawn, and it looks like that might just be enough for them to take this Inferno.
Yeah, it just seemed like LNZRO's damage members were not able to hit as many people as they liked to in that fight. Excellent start off on the fight by stopping that elastic sling shot for Dardo. They do still get hit up by that Call of the Forge guy, but only 2 members, and Kingsland was untouched in the fight apart from that ability. So it ended up being very, very nice for Dawn. In the end, 2 kills, a Drake, and now they are in that exact position I was talking about before, where 1 Drake, the next Infernal Drake, would mean that they get the Infernal Soul. And at that point for LNZRO, Dueler's already been dying a lot, and he's your main frontline tank. If the enemy team has Infernal Soul, it becomes even more tough for him to stay alive. So they definitely do not want to give that up.
Big advantage in the bot lane for LNZRO, but everywhere else is a win for Dawn Inferno in terms of gold right now. So the fact that the bot lane isn't able to really do too much in these team fights is really concerning, because that's where all their gold is here. But a collapse in the side lane. Campera, well, he remembers this one, right? He's going to get interrupted as well on that Weaver's wall, and Campera going to die in the side lane there. So only 2nd death of the game, but in the exact same place, basically, where he died before.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Fails didn't go for the death from below there, saving it for an upcoming team fight, perhaps, as they did, of course, just kill the most fed member of the enemy team. Not quite picking up that mid lane turret quite yet, Dardo. Saving it. As the turrets are dead even again. 2-2. But with Campara dead, this could mean that they take the next fight, or maybe even pressure on this Baron, as there are some pings going over to it.
Now 3-2 in turrets, but that bot lane turret is getting very low, so maybe soon to be evened up. But face checking this is a bit tough with a Pyke. And Dardo looking to move a ward line up. We'll put a control ward in the brush, and now it looks like it's going to be called off. With Campera coming back to the team, it doesn't seem like LNZRO want. Actually, Campera going back bot lane, so maybe LNZRO will stick around and look for a pick, although he has already gone back to base.
Oh, Dardo is
Dardo
very
getting pulled
tanky.
in here. Finds a smash into the wall onto Fails here as bullet time goes down. Dardo going to get executed there by Fails. Tsui in the backline. He's going to go down as well. Curtain Call doing a bit of damage, but Call the Forge Guy going to find the knock on a Kingsland. He's going to get pulled back. Bone Skewer, that's 3 dead. That's probably Baron. Jungler dead. Campera and Double B the only ones left alive.
Yeah, crucially, the jungler died there on the side of Dawn. Campara may have found Fails, but
yep, they find another stun here. Campera getting very low. They're not going to be able to get a kill at all. Fails. Oh no, now we'll go down. I think the grenade might have landed. So 1 for 1 there, but then Campera. And now only Double B left alive. No ultimate for him.
Can he steal it with the W? That's the question here. No, he cannot. That's
Way
going to be
too
the
far
Baron
away.
for LNZRO. Yeah, he definitely was, but you know, gotta give at least some hope for Dawn. Now, LNZRO, just like the last games, are in a massive gold lead. They just won the fight. Dawn, credit to them. This game has already lasted 5 minutes longer than their previous loss, but it's now back in LNZRO's hands. They're looking to come back and clean up this series 3-0 with this Baron.
Yeah, they did the limit testing. Now it's time to end the series. This is LNZRO's time. We joked around for a little bit. Dawn Inferno put a good fight, but maybe LNZRO, they finally found, all right, hey guys, we got to finish the series now. We can't get reverse swept on. And sometimes it gets dangerous, right? You lose that first game, it's fine. Lose that second game, and then you get really concerned and you just throw the whole series here. So it's better to just win the 3-0 and not even risk it. But with this gold lead, the Ornn items, it feels like now they are firmly in the lead. Sure, the bot lane was ahead, but now it seems like the rest of the team is caught up. And now with Baron buff, they have a decent siege. I don't really know how they stop them, because to compare is where all the gold is really right now. Bale's going to find the hook onto a King's End. Call of Forge got his huge. They find the kill onto a King's End. Dardo coming in from behind. He's looking for the stun on the hard stuck. Will not get it. Doesn't get into the wall. Another execute there for the Sport. Fails. Gets a bullet time. Massive damage. Double B. He gets executed. A second one. Huge play by the Pike. Not able to get the last one onto Campera, but he will fall to the stretching arms of Mouse Dixie. An ace and a team fight win, and perhaps even more than that for the side of LNZRO.
You have 5 for 0 ace with the Baron up. That's the second tier mid turn going down. Can they get the third? Can they get the inhibitor? And I guess the biggest question is, can they end the series here with that play at 27 minutes? LNZRO.
Realm Warp for the minions. They're going for it. Nexus turret's going down. Oh, the Sport comes back. A King's End able to get 1 kill onto Fails. A King's End flashing away, but he will die. A second ace comes through. Double B here, but oh no, the AD carry has gone down. Hardstack is dead. First Nexus turret falls. Mouse Sticky trying to run away. He splashes out. Current call going to hit Klein, slowing him up. Now smacked into the pillar is Tuller. He gets stunned, and now Tetsuya onto him. Unstoppable he goes, but knocked down by the Dragon Rage kick of Tetsuya. Another Sonic. Nope, not going to quite find that one. Tetsuya almost got Klein. Mouse Dixie is here, but you might want to run away, dude. Not time to steal the blue buff.
Yeah, death timer's a little bit too short right there. This actually could mean that Dawn picks up the Infernal Soul right here, though. Of course, Mouse Dixie is still alive. There is the chance of the Smite steal. Maybe they're going to try to get that pick off onto him beforehand, but it looks like they are going to start it up. Can Tetsuya secure this?
Now level 13 to level 13. Going in a little bit too early. The Smite! Gonna go over. Double B with it. Gets it with an auto. And now Mouse Dixie trapped in the pit. He's trying to bounce around, buy some time. Fails, pulls Dardo out over it. Mouse Dixie gets out there with the elastic slingshot. Fails now gonna pull Dardo back over the wall. Finds the stun again. Here comes Hardstock. Might have another fight. An execute there onto the Poppy here, as Fails gonna take a lot of damage to the front line. Misses his last execute onto Tetsuya. Fails gonna get out as well. Tetsuya not able to take that second part of his Q. Now stretching trike gonna find it. Campera puts the jungler into the bloblets here. As a kick gonna be found, but Fails gets the auto for the kill. And now it's a triple kill for the Misfortune. And that's another ace, and that might be it finally. And a bit of an extended end here, but it looks like LNZRO have secured the series.
Yeah, it definitely appears that way. 19 seconds on Dardo, but I don't think that's going to be enough. The minion waves are coming in. Mouse Dixie can just tank this one up, and I think this is going to be a 3-0 for LNZRO.
Well, there you go. The Nexus under fire, 3-0 for LNZRO. And they will take the series. A little bit sketchy at the end there. 29 minutes it took in the game 3, but they pulled it together and ended the series here. Despite a valiant effort from Dawn Inferno, after a rough first 2 games, came back. Campera with a big performance. Tetsuya and Dardo as well. Big performances on their champions, but unfortunately not quite enough to secure a victory. And once they let the rest of the team of LNZRO kind of catch up, figure out, hey guys, we got to take this one seriously, it was just all over from there.
It's kind of funny that yesterday we were disappointed that the game didn't go to an hour because it was too short. And this time, this game lasted too long at 29 minutes. pretty good stuff here. But yeah, that just goes to show how dominating Lane Zero were in this series. Of course, they had a rough start in that game. The top side was just getting kicked around left and right by Dardo, Tetsuya, and Campera, especially Campera on this Talia doing a very, very phenomenal job. But he got picked off in the bot lane twice. And from there, you started to raise your eyebrow. Can Dawn actually lose this game with his lead? And it turns out they certainly can. Those team fights came in super, super clutch. Fails with those executes on the death from below. And that's all she wrote right there. Lane 0, 3-0.
A very close game 3. It felt like it could have gone anyone's way, but eventually Lane 0 just kind of got that extra edge, and the last team fight was all them. Last 2 team fights were all them. We're going to take a short break. Hopefully we'll be back in a second with Lane 0, the winning squad. So stick around. We'll have that. Hopefully we'll see if they're still in the Discord. But thank you guys for watching. A few more minutes, and then we'll get you off for the night. So stick around. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're here with Lane 0, the winning squad. You guys anything got to say after the win?
Red Flame sucks.
Okay. Muchacha.
Awful player. Holy shit.
I just want to say muchacha who? Muchacha who?
I feel like obviously I can't talk for the entire team, but it was a pretty big jungle diff the entire series, if I have to say so myself.
Yo, I got a question for you casters too. Did you guys see the pro draft of game 1? They put our name as who?
They did.
Yeah,
yes.
I did.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
Oh,
Yeah.
very unlucky, honestly.
big
Very
call out
unlucky.
right there.
I mean, but who the fuck are they? To be the
Yeah, I know.
the
Aren't they a
person?
dying work? Yeah.
Oh,
That's some shots fired. You guys have Ivy Gaming Black next. Do you have anything to say to them before you play
I'm
them?
the Dawn killer, so that's one. Beat
I mean-
research.
They don't have to worry about a reverse sweep because we'll just 3-0 them. So
fuck.
So, you guys say 3-0 again in the next series. Were you guys a little worried, though, about the 3-0 in this series? The game number
No.
3, the start kind of went a little rough, and then you guys righted the ship?
I mean, so we weren't really worried.
Presenting.
I all kind of came in today saying let's just fucking 3-0 them. Game 3 certainly went off to like a pretty shitty start considering the fact that we played double tank and we were just losing on prio with Rise Top. But once they started fucking NA ramming mid lane for literally 10 minutes with their 6-0 Talia, it was kind of over. The game was over because they could never breach us. Because if they ever try to shove a big wave in, MF ults it and they lose the wave.
Yeah, they had Dawn in their name, so I figured it was a 3-0.
It definitely seemed like you guys were drafting towards team fights, and they just kind of weren't. Especially game 1, they drafted like no tanks at all, and they had no range either. So they just went for side lane, and then they didn't do that because you guys made them FF at 18.
Yeah.
Is that the fastest game you guys have had this season so far?
no.
No idea.
No idea because me
I
and
haven't played
Fails
much.
came in on the roster towards the end.
Since Fails and Stixie joined, yeah, probably. But before that, nah, we've had 15-minute games before.
It was just rough because you pick dog shit champions like Jarvan, and then you play Olaf when you don't know the counters to him. So we just pick up the counters, at least for jungle matchup at least. And then it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, didn't their actual their jungler main who they had an ADC main playing jungle for them. In
Yeah,
the last
they
D4.
did.
2 games?
D4 too. That's even more
He was actually he hit grandmaster or something, or master or something, I think.
That
Can no
AD?
longer play with them. No. Their other jungler.
Oh, they're jungler.
Their superstar one guy.
They're 1v9 guy.
Yeah. The guy who would spam question marks after getting any kills. So
Well, at least it's not his own name. That's I've seen people do that before.
yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
but to be fair though, his ego matched his name. So
Tommy 309.
All right, so Ivy Gaming Black. Anything specific about their matchup? Obviously, you guys say you're gonna 3-0 them. I like the confidence, but anything specific about that matchup? You guys think maybe a strategy you got coming in? I mean, no, don't need to spoil your strategy, but anything interesting about them that you think matchups? Any positional things?
I think their jungler is easily exploitable.
Do you even know who it is? Name.
I
it.
have
What's
no
his-
idea. I have no
Oh,
idea.
It's Hexmist.
In the league,
He got out jungled. I watched the series last night. He got out jungled every game by a
I
worse
don't even
jungler.
agree with the 3-0 statement. That was Tuller. He don't give a damn.
Whoa,
But
whoa.
I have no idea anyone in this league, so I can't even say anything.
Wow, team's turning against me.
I'm just playing league. I mean, yeah, you could be right. I don't know. They could be trash.
Yeah, just play normal games, man. What are you talking about?
I'm legit just playing league.
Wait,
It's Mac and Don players.
wait. Who are we? Who are
Oh,
we?
I play. Okay, that's my mistake. You guys don't play Ivy Gaming. You played
Oh, I play Goth Boy, don't
yeah,
I?
you play Gothboy Click because you're the higher seed. Excuse me,
Still
I
don't know who that-
apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
It's
bad.
okay. Though. I still don't know who
Yeah.
the hell they are,
Yeah.
anyways.
Well, you could still play Ivy Gaming if they win. So I don't know. There
True,
you
but
go.
I don't. I think they probably have the best chance against Akuma, but I still think Akuma will win.
So you guys think Akuma versus you in the finals? That's your prediction?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. What? Of
Yeah.
course.
Of course. We're easily the two strongest teams.
Well, I mean, you came in third place, but we'll see.
I
so
just
Reddit-
got here. Hey, I just got here.
Yeah.
I haven't lost it. No, I haven't lost.
Yeah, we haven't. Me and Fails were a revitalization to this.
Just
roster.
saying, I haven't lost.
Yeah.
True. All right.
Once Powder left, it was easy mode.
All right. Well,
Oh,
I also have a pentakill in this league on another team. In the same
yeah,
league, so-
true.
all right. Well, thank you guys for your interview. We'll let you go here. Head off now for the night. Thank you very much. Good game to you guys, and of course your opponents, Don and Fro. Great job by them. Unfortunately, they're out of the playoffs, but
Yeah.
thank you guys for the time.
Thanks.
Don
Have a
who?
nice dinner.
All right, we're back here. Quick thank you again, Sublife and Prominent Reflection for the subs. Thanks, you guys. We really appreciate it. And if you want to find me, I'm not Kios. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all under the same username. I am not CUOEUS. And Smacks, I think, will be joining me in a second here. Hello, Smacks. There you
Hello.
are. Okay, he's back. He's back. Thank you guys so much. You can find me at those places, and we don't have anything else the rest of the weekend, but we got another couple series next weekend, so tune in for those, and appreciate it, and we'll see you guys then. Anything else to say, Smacks, before we go?
Is this where I plug my stuff?
Yeah, this is where you plug your stuff.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch me do other things, I guess if you enjoyed my casting, I do have a stream. LOL Smacks is the tag. So if you guys want to watch me stream, I have face cam and everything, so you can see my face. And if you want to see my face talk about analytic league stuff, I also do other things for Phoenix Rising, but they're in off season right now, so that's not happening right now. But yeah, it was a really fun series. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to see LNZRO again. Even if I'm not casting, I'm definitely gonna tune into this stream because I've been having a good time yesterday and today watching these teams, so it was a great time. Thank you for having me, everyone. Thank you for listening to me babble on about League of Legends and everything. And thank you to Kios as well.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thanks to Smacks for coming and help us out last minute, and we'll see you guys again next weekend. I believe it's, hold on, let me get you the exact date. January 10th, I believe. We're going to have Gothboy Click versus LNZRO. Again, my mistake. I thought they were playing Ivy Gaming because I got Ivy Gaming on the brain. But, yeah, January 10th, come back for that one. LNZRO versus Gothboy Click, and then Akuma Saviors versus Ivy Gaming Black on Saturday. So thank you very much, guys. We'll see you again next weekend. And LNZRO take it over Don Inferno 3-0. Have a good night, everyone.